friends, my name is Holger Biallas, and I would like to introduce you to MOKSHA Yoga. Why another type of yoga, you might ask? Well, I have a yoga background, and some of the things we're doing in MOKSHA Yoga are really new. Moksha, Sanskrit word for liberation. Yoga, most of us know that word. Sanskrit meaning is connection and reconnection, besides some others. In MOKSHA Yoga, it is about changing our mode of perception. It is a direct influence on the energetic body, and when we can manage to understand perception as an active, creational process, we will easily understand that different perception causes a different kind of reality, at least subjective reality. So what are we doing in MOKSHA Yoga to take influence on the energetic body? We are mainly dealing with certain resonance spots on the physical body. One is the spiritual heart, the second one is on the palate, and two more are on the pelvic floor and your fontanella. MOKSHA Yoga mainly consists of 3 exercises that we want to combine. Partly you will know the modules, maybe not exactly in the way that we are using them, but there's also something more to be added that is really a new thing. First resonance spot, as I said, the spiritual heart. And you can easily measure the distance between the tip of your chin and the tip of your nose. Keep the distance with your fingers, go down, putting your middle finger now on tip of chin, and your thumb ends at your larynx. You do the same thing again, from your larynx down, and you will end at the little bone plate that connects your collarbones. You do it once more, from the collarbone down, and you will end up at your sternum, the breast plate, not the sternum, sorry. Do it once more, and you end up in that little dip right above the sternum this time. Okay, and this dip is what we want to find. We want to locate the spot that I was talking about, and I call it the resonance spot for the non-polarized or non-divided heart. Non-two-ness, meaning oneness in Sanskrit, is Advaita. Dvaita, two-ness. Advaita, opposite, oneness. So, the non-polarized heart, Anahata is the name for the heart chakra, Anahata Advaita, has a resonance spot on your physical body. And spot in Sanskrit is Bindu. So this is the unification spot, Advaita Bindu. And when you find Advaita Bindu, massage it slightly with, I always do it with the middle finger, gives me the best impression. And when you found it, you might have the subjective impression that you could dive with your finger easily into the body. Of course you cannot physically, but you get a kind of impression that almost would be possible. Alright, once you've located that little spot in the middle of that dip above the sternum, Advaita Bindu, Massage it a little bit, circling movements. Let your hand go and close your eyes. Then start breathing through that spot. Of course, your physical breath goes in and out your mouth and lungs, but energetically, you can manage to breathe by putting your concentration here while you're breathing through Advaita Bindu. Please do this for 3 or 4 breaths. Fine. Second resonance spot, we call the liberation spot. It's on top of your palate. Let the tip of your tongue rest at the 4 teeth. Let it slide backwards slowly. You will realize first we have a dome, then we have like a little mound. I call it the palate mound. Dome to the top, mound going down. After that there's the soft palate. So let your tongue move from your teeth backward, the dome, the mound, the soft palate. Now explore the palate mound with the tip of your tongue. Bend your tongue up, so the tip of your tongue is really pointing to the middle of your head. So you roll it half in. And massage this spot, liberation spot, moksha, bindu, with your tongue. Get very sensitive in doing so. It's a very defined spot where the tip of your tongue wants to rest. It's a chakra at the tip of your tongue. And if that connects with the unification spot with moksha bindu, and let's call this moksha chakra, and the spot moksha bindu. So once you found the docking spot for the tip of your tongue, let the tongue rest there. Still, fold it half in, so the tip of tongue is pointing upward directly into the middle of the head, which is the pineal gland. And this is what we're aiming at here. This movement I call a mudra. Mudra in Sanskrit means seal, which is a movement or gesture with the body that is hinting to something going beyond the body. And I even want to state that Moksha Mudra is, I would call it a master seal or a master key, because it is able to alter our perception. And together with the other 2 exercises in Moksha Yoga, this can be a pretty effective tool to alter your subjective reality. So please, do Moksha Mudra, that means tip of tongue, docks onto that spot at the palate mound, Moksha Chakra, docks at Moksha Bindu, and that is what we call Moksha Mudra. Please do those 2 things simultaneously now. Go into Moksha Mudra, tip of tongue, docks at the palate mound, and you breathe through the unification spot, Advaita Bindu. Try this out for a couple of breaths, please. Okay, so doing Moksha Yoga has a kind of ecstatic potential. I mean, babies, they know the spot already. They put the thumb in their mouth and they massage and press that spot. It's connected to a lot of joy. We could almost call it like something like a spiritual clitoris, this spot up there. Even you, a woman who would get a physical orgasm doing Moksha Mudra. Well, not necessarily. But it's possible. Alright, this is the 2 easy tasks in Moksha Yoga. Breathing in and out, the unification spot, Advaita Bindu, which is the resonance spot for the non-divided or non-polarized heart. Anahata Advaita. And the second thing is docking the chakra on the tip of your tongue, which I call Moksha chakra, with the resonance spot for your higher self, which is Moksha Bindu. If that happens, if you found the docking spot, it's almost like aiming with a laser beam at your pineal gland. And you connect it with the Anahata Advaita breathing to make it more effective. And finally, you should connect your spiritual heart with your rational processing. By the way, the so-called granthi, which translated would mean knots, which are along our energetic spinal cord, the Sushumna Nadi, as it's called in yoga, they are influenced a lot. That means Moksha Mudra dissolves those knots. There are 3 in the body, but this would be too complex to discuss here. There's more to come in my book, Moksha Yoga. But right here, we have to just concentrate on the main exercises. So, Anahata Advaita breathing, Moksha Mudra. Now it's getting a little bit more complex, but not very much. In fact, in the end, once you get used to doing that, you located the spots and you realize how easy it is to do what follows now. The whole system, Moksha Mudra, can accompany your whole day without even people noticing you're doing something they might not know. Okay, the 2 exercises we were talking about, we want to combine them with the 3rd exercise. And this is connecting a yoga technique that is called bandha, which means contraction. It is a contraction, but it means a closure, in fact. With a technique out of Hawaiian shamanism, which is called kahi. When a Hawaiian shaman or initiator of self-healing processes, which I would prefer to call it, is having a client, they're not doing what a lot of new age healers and guys do, meaning taking bad energy out and good energy in. They're not doing any of that. What they're doing is they're putting their hands, one on the aching spot and the other hand on a high energetic spot as far away from the first spot as possible. And then they just concentrate on both spots simultaneously. So they're just giving the subtle bodies an orientation of how to initiate an energy flow that will cause the beginning of self-healing processes. And we want to do exactly the same with chakra number 7, which is the fontanella, and chakra number 1, which is down on the pelvic floor. by contracting them both and concentrating on both of them simultaneously, we will have a change of energy flow in the energetic spine, the Sushumna Nadi. And the Hawaiian technique I was talking about is called Kahi. So the third exercise in Moksha Yoga is called Sushumna Kahi. First of all, we have to learn to contract our pelvic floor. It's simple. You contract your anus and your genital. Male students, 2 ring muscles down there, the ureter and the anus. Female students, you have a third muscular structure that allows you to give birth. So your pelvic floor is a little bit more complex. Please keep that in mind. But we want to contract the whole pelvic floor. Try doing that by exhaling. Inhaling, you let go of the contraction. Exhaling, you contract again. Do it once more. Okay, this should be easy. The other contraction we said is the fontanellas. It's not very easy to contract the fontanella. So, but what we can do is we can actively pull up our eyebrows and even do that with eyes closed, what we prefer for a better inner perception. Inhaling, contract, pull up the eyebrows actively, concentrate on the fontanella, and exhaling, release the contraction so your forehead is relaxed again. You can even put a hand here on the fontanella and make a quick movement with your eyebrows up and down, and you will feel a little movement here. It's not a big movement, much smaller maybe than contracting your whole pelvic floor, but we are using those contractions, those bandha, to mark the points that we are talking about. And I'm asking you now to contract them both simultaneously. Don't look at your breath. Let your breath just flow for now. We carry on including the breath, but for now I just want you to experience that concentration on 2 spots simultaneously is possible. It's just not a one-pointed concentration. It's more like a holographic approach to it. Try it out. Let your breath flow and contract both your pelvic floor and your fontanella simultaneously. Concentrate, close your eyes, concentrate on both spots simultaneously. That might not be the easiest thing to do in the beginning, because we are used to concentrate on one thing, so in the beginning we will switch between up and down, but you might realize that very soon this is an easy thing to do, and you can kind of have them both in your focus at the same time, so simultaneously. And we want to practice that after pausing your breath, after exhaling. Alright? We start with Moksha Mudra, tongue up. We breathe through the unity spot, Anahata Advaita Bindu, the spot itself, the resonance spot. And we deepen our breath a little bit, slightly. Start with that, Moksha Mudra, Anahata Advaita breathing. Inhale. We exhale. After exhalation, stop your breathing, contract. This is the Kahi. Concentrate on your fontanella and your pelvic floor simultaneously. Once your breathing impulse is coming, follow it. And immediately concentrate on Advaita Bindu. That means when you breathe in after the Kahi contractions, you're breathing through Advaita Bindu. Try it out. Moksha Mudra, Anahata Advaita breathing. Exhale. Stop your breath. Kahi contractions, simultaneous concentration. Let go of the contraction and inhale through Advaita Bindu. This is the most important moment when you're inhaling through here. You can also do the same after exhalation. The difference is that after doing the Kahi after exhalation, we have a calming effect, but also we are very receptive for holographic information, especially from our higher self. If we do it after inhalation, we gain prana, which is the Sanskrit word for life force, energy. So try it out after inhalation as a variation of that. Moksha Mudra, tongue docks on your palate mouth. Anahata Advaita breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Stop your breath. Kahi, the contractions and the simultaneous concentration. Wait for the impulse to breathe and follow it. Let go of the contractions and exhale through Advaita Bindu, the resonance spot for Anahata Advaita. Mostly we prefer to do one or the other. Once we have practiced Moksha Yoga, we, as a preparation, for example, for meditation, we can do both. So you would do it after each phase of breathing. That means you do the contractions, meaning the Kahi and the simultaneous concentration. After exhaling, pausing your breath, you lose the contractions, you inhale through Advaita Bindu, stop the breath, contract again, which we call the Kahi, concentrate simultaneously, and also when the breathing impulse is coming again, you exhale through Advaita Bindu. We want to also awaken that spot on the palate. So one more little exercise for preparation can be rubbing your tongue with some pressure, as much pressure and as much speed as you can get back and forth over the palate mouth. Do something good for the tongue muscle. Stretch the tongue out really, the tip of your tongue, trying to touch the tip of your chin. It helps the muscle to relax. And then you go into Moksha Mudra, docking the tip of your tongue, Moksha Chakra, to that resonant spot on the heart palate, Moksha Bindu. This is Moksha Mudra, the seal of liberation. While Moksha Mudra, make an attempt to breathe through Advaita Bindu. You can do that several times in a day to support that spot in waking up and pouring all the blessings to you. I call it the nectar of bliss, which in Sanskrit would be Ananda Soma. There's a lot of potential joy in doing Moksha Mudra. And when you're combining it with the other exercises, it'll gain momentum a lot. So what conclusion could we make, how to do Moksha Yoga? See, most of us have a hard time saying, oh, I'm doing 2 hours of yoga now or meditation. This is liberation for lazy people like me, to be honest. But if you have a master key, probably works. So, rule of thumb is Anahata Advaita breathing as often as possible over the day. You just have to remind yourself like 10 times a day for 1 second, and it starts going automatically. Moksha Mudra, maybe always when you're not sleeping and not talking. You can also program yourself, and boom, after 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, you will realize that your tongue is automatically resting in that position. And every now and then, kahi. But especially when you have time to do that, you could do it at the bus stop, of course, but you will be more sensitive for what this is doing with you when you have a bit of space and time for yourself. So Moksha Yoga can accompany the whole day. And what we call Matrix, since the movies, like something we perceive as reality, but wait a minute, maybe that's at least not all of it. Yeah. Moksha Yoga will liberate you from that limited frame of perception, and thereby has potential to change your personal reality. And allow me to just have introduced those Sanskrit words. They carry a certain vibration. You don't have to use them. You can use Liberation Spot and all the other translations that I've been using for those Sanskrit names, and make it an easy thing for you. You will hear more in the future. The book is coming out on Amazon with more exercises to do and a lot of more possible connections in and outside the yoga system. Stay tuned, my dear friends. Thanks for joining me today.